Good morning, it's Sheila from She's a Sassy Lady, and I'm back. Sorry I missed you the last couple weeks, and I have a huge thank you for the design team at She's a Sassy Lady. My father passed away, and they stepped in, and they took over and ran the blog, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate everyone just doing what they're supposed to do. They had no calendar, they just went by last month's calendar, and everything just went as smoothly as could be. And I just thank each and every one of you. Now in the meantime, this left me with a dilemma where I need lots of thank you cards. And unfortunately, I don't have that many. Now I'll use for general, but there's some special thank you cards that I have to get out. Example, my sister-in-law, we came back from Wisconsin and went in the Chicagoland area, and my sister put up our family and actually fed 10 people, and just did, you know, so many nice, wonderful things that I have to send Greg and Sue a wonderful thank you card. And so that's what I'm working on. But unfortunately, when I came back, my partner was going on vacation because his son is getting married, or now has gotten married, and there were a lot of things that he had to do because, of course, being the groom's parents, they had the rehearsal dinner and all that to do, so they were busy doing that. So I designed my cards on my lunch hour at work on Cricut Craft Room. Well, then I get on Cricut Craft Room and they have an update. So I have to update my Cricut Craft Room, which I did, not realizing that then I had to update my E2, which I didn't even have a Cricut Sync on this computer, because when I originally did my E2, I had it on my laptop. So at any rate, I've had ProvaCraft on the phone and trying to do everything, and of course they were wonderful. But it just doesn't make it easier, because of course when you really need something really fast, your machine is down, and that's normal for anything you do. So what I did is I designed on Cricut Craft Room, and I'll show it to you in a few minutes here, this thank you card, very similar to what I do on the Gypsy, although I have to tell you, I found it more difficult to do on the Craft Room because of the ease of moving things up and down and back and forth. Now what I've got is a window card, and I designed the window card, and I went with my where I used the plastic off of the cartridges, you know, the sleeves on the cartridges. Well, I saved that plastic and I used that, and a lot of packages have it on, so I mean, you just got to watch for it and just save it as soon as you get it. So what I did is I cut it, and then I ran it through my Cuttlebug, and as you can see, the thank you card has a window, and the window I filled in with a card. Now what I do is I then make a front, and I've showed you how to do this on the Gypsy. I made a front, and this is it, and I'll place that over the thank you there. So we'll work on that right now while I'm talking. I have to tell you, I went up north. I went, and I'm now calling it the frozen tundra. You know, I now live in Alabama, but I'm from Wisconsin. So I should know better. I should know better. It is May. Normally it's beautiful, and they had wonderful, beautiful, beautiful weather. And a matter of fact, when we arrived in Wisconsin, my mother and my sister and I, it was 82 degrees out. We went in for dinner, came out, and it was 40 degrees with wind blowing that created a wind chill of 26 degrees. And I forgot my winter coat. Or not my winter coat, I was going to take a spring coat, because that should be sufficient this time of year. And I had it out, left it sitting right on the little, I have it like a settee that you, or a little bench that we use to put our shoes on and that. And can you stand it? I'm out of glue. Hold on one second. And hopefully I can get at it right away. It's in my adhesives bin. And I'll keep talking. I have a few adhesives in here. Can you stand it? I need some zip drying. I'm almost positive I have some in here. I just got to find it. I know I've got, here it is. Zip dry. So I left my coat on the settee, and I froze. So we decided, well, we'll go over to Walmart, you know. Good idea, right? Because that's the only store in town. I come from a little tiny town in Wisconsin, and population, I think, is now 12,000. And so the only store left after all these years and after the recent recession is Walmart. And so I go to Walmart, and here they closed out all their spring coats and their winter coats last week, and there wasn't even one in the store. So I figured, well, I'll buy a sweatshirt. It doesn't really matter, you know, I'll just buy a sweatshirt. There wasn't a sweatshirt in the store. So we ended up, I went home, froze, absolutely freezing, and went to our motel room, and I got up the next morning. We had a 10 o'clock appointment with the funeral director. Sorry, my mouth is in gear. You know me. I got to work and tell you about things as they go on. We have a 10 o'clock appointment, and we went out for breakfast at 9 o'clock, and we got out of there, or, 8:30, something like that. Got out of there early, and I said, there's got to be someplace in town. So I asked the waitress, I said, isn't there a thrift store or a secondhand store or anything in town that I can get a coat at, because I'm freezing, and I've got days yet of running in and out of cars and stuff like that. Well, we had 15, it turned out there's one on Main Street. The town has one street, it's called Main Street. Going up the middle of the town, where that's their shopping section. Of course they got a lot of residents and farming area and stuff like that. But notice how I put that on, ladies. Here, right up the street from where we were, is a secondhand store named Secondhand Store. Can you stand it? And so we had 15 minutes before our appointment, and I said, ladies, my sister, my mom, I said, we've got 10 minutes, and my sister Jackie and I didn't have coats. I said, we got 10 minutes to find coats. Here's the size I need. And Jackie takes one size larger than me. And anyway, or let's put it this way, she ended up with one size larger than me because I found the coat before her. She had at least a sweatshirt. I didn't even have that. So Jackie ended up with a coat bigger, one size bigger. And I got a jacket, not a coat. It turned out to be a little dress spring coat, which I'm going to keep it. It was really cute. And I'm going to keep it. I mean, what the heck? Might as well. I can use it. And so I did end up with a coat. And then now that was Thursday morning. And Thursday morning when we woke up, just to give you an idea how cold it was and how nasty the weather was, it was 82 degrees Wednesday when we arrived. And on Thursday, now mind you, we left Florida, by the way, where it was 88 degrees. And because my mom lives in Florida, my mom and dad lived in Florida, they're from Wisconsin. And wake up the next morning, and the next town from us, 30 miles down the road from us, they got 13 inches of snow. Can you stand it? And my cousin, he flew into Minneapolis. They got 19 inches of snow. And so he had to drive in that to get to town. So fortunately, I drove into Chicago and then drove from there, rented a car and drove from there. So it wasn't too bad. So that was our Thursday, and we froze. And then Friday, we get up, and remember, I've got a light spring jacket. That's what I've got. And it is 3/4 length, but it is still light. It's something that you would wear out in 50, 60 degree weather, But I was thankful for that because I had nothing but short sleeves. Because normally, at that time of May, it's very nice up north. And every once in a while, they have a bad year. Notice how glittery this is. And this was a bad year, so of course, that's the year that I have to come up. Wake up Friday morning, and there is a 1/2 inch of ice on the rental car. Now, mind you, Normally, rental cars, they give you something to scrape it with, but on May 1st, they stopped sticking scrapers in there. So we had no scraper. Isn't that beautiful? We had no scraper for the car, and of course I got glue all over my thing. That's pretty normal. No scraper for the vehicle, so I had to sit there in the freezing cold waiting for the defroster, because my luck, this silly car would have been stolen, and it's a rental vehicle, and how would I, say, oh gee, sorry, I didn't lock it, they don't go for stuff like that, and I didn't have enough money to buy a new car for them. So I sat in the car and froze. The only thing is by then I'd kind of got a little bit acclimatized to the colder weather, and I have to tell you, it was too bad when you consider that I had windbreak, and so I was happy with just having a little windbreak on it, and I didn't have to deal with that, so I was thankful for that. And you know what I decided I wanted? I want to make sure that I have, and how do I open these again? I always forget how to open these silly things. I think I got it over to the side. There we go. And I need something yellow. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got sunny yellow, I think it is. Sunny yellow. And just used my ink, my little dauber, and ran that all around the side, but it's close to my heart, sunny yellow. And use that, put that back in my case. Now all I have to do, a little bit of ink went through there. Is put some of this goodies on here. And there we go. And I think it goes this way. Yeah. Hard to believe that there's a back and a forward and all that on this, but there is. There. And we've got the yellow on the inside. Okay. And then our card is, look at how nice that turned out. Look at that. Isn't it nice? Here, I love these when you start using that plastic inside. Let me move this out of the way so that you can see, because it makes it sparkle, and then when you add glitter paper to it, it really is nice. And I used some papers from last year from Close to My Heart, the scrapbooking papers that they had, and I forgot what it was called. I'm not even going to pretend to tell you right now, but I used that, and it looks so nice. But look at that. It makes for a nice card, doesn't it? A special thank you card. And then all I have to do at this point, take a little StazOn, take my little handcrafted by Sheila McShay stamp on there. I missed everyone though. It was a hard 2 weeks. Actually, the last 3 weeks have been awful. Just hard. A lot to go through. There we go. Nice and soft, handcrafted by Sheila McShay on the back. You can see that. And I'm going to ink the other one since I've got this open. And then I won't have to get it out again. There we go. Handcrafted. I like those little stamps. They make people let people know that they're special enough where you took the time to hand make their card for them. So I will get together and get busy and make the other card up, but you've got that. You can see how nice and simple that was. Oh, and I was going to show you, let me get Cricut Craft Room up on my screen. I'll bring it right back and show you what the file looks like. And I've been doing something new lately, and I'll show you. At the bottom of my sheet, I take and I cut out extra, like this was a white sheet. Let me widen this out, back out. This was a white sheet of paper that I used the base on, and then I just take and I put pieces of artwork on the bottom to use up the space, okay? And then on the green glitter paper, I used the wings of the little bug. See that? And then I've actually got little pieces of artwork that I can make other cards out of that I already have the artwork, and I'm going to start a little file on that so that I have it. Because, you know what, I've got so much scratch paper right now that it just absolutely amazes me. And this way, instead of filing away because I've got so much, I'll start cutting out little pieces of artwork of something else that I can use for a card or something in the future where all I have to do is grab it. So, at any rate, that's what I did with that. And on the bottom of them I used a moose head, and I have to call Cricut, ProvaCraft again, because I still had problems with it. My bridge or something isn't working right, and that means that they have to get into my computer and take the bridge off so that it will work properly. And I guess that's what the problem was. So, but let me get the camera and I'll get right back to you. This is the actual what the cuts look like in all the different mats. My layer 3, which is the blue that you see here, had the inside of the card, and as you can see it's about 1/4 of an inch less than the outside. And that's the blue, and then I cut the little moose head out. And I utilized the page that way. There was one cut. The orange is the front of the card, and the thank you and the thank you, and I used the top of the little ladybug, but I cut this all in lime green. Isn't that gorgeous? In lime green. And then the base of the card, the thank you, and the bottom of the ladybug, so that I was utilizing, I'm not only getting 2 cards, but I'm getting 3 cuts or actually 4 cuts that I can use later on something. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and thank you for joining us at She's a Sassy Lady. I'm sorry I got a little talky this morning. It's just been such a long time since I talked to you. Have a blessed week. Bye now.